16 gauge Model 12 knocked me on my butt, and then I immediately wanted to do it again.
Yeah, exactly. It's JimJ 1911. I cannot believe who I am sitting here with. If you know anything about anything at all, you will know this is the man to talk to. I'm in the Dillon booth at NRAAM 2023 with the one, the only, the human manual, Gary, right there sitting in our presence. So,
howdy.
Howdy, how are you?
I'm doing good. Slept well last night, have caffeine, we're good to go.
We're on day 3 of this convention. Are you exhausted?
I think we passed exhausted Friday afternoon. It's been a heck of a show.
Oh my gosh. Friday, I think honestly Friday seemed busier than yesterday.
Yeah.
It was more congested, I feel like, so.
We went through the number of catalogs we normally go through in 3 days in 1 day on Friday.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's good for business.
Oh,
right?
Love it, yeah.
It's a good problem to have, but I know you had to have catalogs and magazines overnighted.
Yeah, but
so,
you do what you have to do.
Exactly. It's for the people, right?
Yep.
For the Dillon people.
That's why we're here.
Yeah. So, if you know, right? This guy knows a lot. I would say any question anybody asks, you pretty much know the answer to when it comes to reloading.
I either know it or I can fake it really, really well.
Fake it till you make it.
Yep.
Right? Well, so I wanted to just kind of pick this guy's brain kind of as, an expose, a personal side, so you can get to know this guy, because you've got to check out his videos if you haven't already. You can go to Dillon's YouTube channel and find this guy. Mm-hmm. And he makes all these instructional videos. You have a question about your press, this is the guy's videos you want to watch, okay? So, first of all, how long have you been reloading?
I'll be 64 in August. I started loading when I was about 5 years old, helping my dad load shotgun shells on a Pacific single-stage shot shell loader.
Did you enjoy it when you were 5?
Oh yeah, because you're hanging out with your dad and doing really cool stuff, and it's kind of important because you get to push the bar one way to make sure you drop powder, push the other way to drop shot, because if you forget, it's the next round's going to be missing one or the other, and it will drop the wrong stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So for a 5-year-old, I was real excited about that.
And then you got to go out and shoot what you just created.
Oh yeah.
So that's rewarding too. 16
gauge Model 12 knocked me on my butt, and then I immediately wanted to do it again.
Yeah. Exactly. So, so you started reloading when you were 5. At what point did you realize, I kind of know a lot about reloading?
I consider myself a reasonably knowledgeable individual. I will not claim to be the all-knowing expert, because there's always something I haven't run into.
Yeah.
But I started loading metallic cartridges when I was 10. Passed NRA hunter safety, bought a deer rifle, Savage 99, 300 Savage, and my dad quickly figured out that he could not afford to keep me in the amount of ammunition I wanted. So for that Christmas,
very quickly.
Yeah. So for Christmas, I got a Herter's single stage loader, scale, manual, couple of sets of dies, and all was well. And then I discovered the Thompson Center Contender pistol when I was about 13. And now it's, I don't have to buy a whole gun. I just have to buy a barrel and I can have a whole new cartridge. And then it got worse. I discovered, just accidentally, I traded into a 30-40 Krag U.S. infantry rifle.
Accidentally?
Accidentally. Did not intend to, it just worked out that way.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, military bolt actions are kind of cool. I think I'll start collecting those.
Yeah.
And a lot of those are cartridges that are, you can't go into the local sporting goods store or the local big box and purchase.
Yeah.
And this is back in the 70s. So
Right.
then it gets worse. For Christmas, the year after we got married, my wife bought me an M16,
Oh,
transferable. So
That
you know
sounds
what
like
to
a-
hold out for.
that sounds like a good woman right there.
Yeah. So after the transfer paperwork came through, went down to Dillon and bought an RL 450. And I was already familiar with Dillon because we knew Mike from other shooting circles.
Yeah.
And several of us went in on an RL 300 to load 45 ACP for what was then just IPSC. And that's all everybody shot was 1911, 45.
Yeah.
But a buddy of ours bought an air-cooled machine gun for Mike Dillon, so he bought that share out. So he took that machine over, and then about 3 months after that, my wife was not happy with her work. She was looking in the paper for want-ads, because that's what you did, in
Right.
the 80s.
Classifieds. Yep.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And she says, honey, there's this place that says reloader wanted, non-smoker preferred. And then I read the phone number back to her, went down, interviewed, quit my previous job, which was
Wow.
in management at a sporting goods store chain,
Oh my gosh.
and started off making priming systems for the RL 450 and worked my way through building everything. Started to build some of the more complicated products we had, started helping out in the sales department at lunchtime, moved into the sales department, and for about the last 20 years I've been the sales manager.
Wow.
And no, my collecting of historical firearms, it may ebb and flow, but it has not ceased.
Yeah.
The pat answer when your wife asks you how many more guns are you going to purchase is just one more.
Yeah.
The answer never changes.
Right. And you're not lying.
No.
It's just one more.
Yeah.
Right then.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. We'll see. My husband's lucky because I'm the one that says, hey, buy that gun. You should buy that gun. Right?
So you're his enabler.
Yeah, but usually it's because I want that gun.
Oh.
So don't tell him.
No, not a
It's our
word.
secret, yeah. Even though he's standing right there behind the camera.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Exactly. So, okay, so when it comes to reloading, do you have a favorite caliber? Do you have a caliber you enjoy reloading? Is it all kind of the same? Do you prefer pistol over rifle or vice versa?
My favorite is probably the 4570. And that's because I cast my bullets for that cartridge.
Yeah.
Being a long tapered case, it requires a little more handling. And I shoot it out of my sharp single shot or the Marlin lever action. And
That's
it gives you a very satisfying thump when you pull the trigger.
Yeah.
If I want something soft to shoot, I've got ARs, I've got 22s, but it's nice to know you're shooting a real rifle once in a while.
Right. So here's something that, I'm a big proponent of reloading. Everybody that watches my channel knows I'm always saying, if you shoot, you should learn to reload.
Oh, absolutely.
So what would you tell somebody who argues that store-bought ammo is better? If you want to encourage a reloader or somebody to begin reloading, what would you tell them? What background evidence would you give?
There's 4 major points for why reload.
Yeah.
First and foremost is the lie we all tell ourselves is that you're going to save money. On a per round
That's not a
basis,
lie, Gary.
on a per round basis, you're going to save typically 20% on the low end, say if you're reloading 9mm.
Right.
If you're reloading a large rifle cartridge, big Weatherby rounds or something, you're going to save 80% over buying factory ammo.
Yeah.
Second, is ammunition independence.
Yes.
And that's because if you go into a store right now and look for rifle ammo, you're going to find 223, you're going to find 6.5 Creedmoor, you're going to find 308.
Yeah.
If you want 300 Savage, if you want 30-30, if you want 325 Winchester Short Magnum, the cupboard is bare.
Yeah.
And that's because the demand for those few cartridges is so high currently that they cannot allocate factory time to something that only sells 10% of that amount. That's
right.
Business. But it doesn't do you any good if you're looking for ammo that you can't get.
Right.
So I believe it was you telling me that your father had a 38 S&W?
Yeah, exactly.
So...
And we couldn't find, well, you can't find the ammo for a 38 S&W. So you have to reload.
Exactly.
And, you know, I think to expand on what you just said, the ammo independence, I also like knowing that nobody is accounting for how much ammo I own.
Exactly.
And because, like, you know, my friends, my subscribers in California, for example, they have to fill out a background check before they go buy ammo.
Yeah, and they can't ship it to their house. They have to ship it to an FFL.
Right. So guess what? I'm making my ammo,
Yep.
and I don't have to go through any of that.
And they can order components.
Right. Exactly.
So, you know, so far, reloading is still safe and easy to do in states where ammunition is controlled. Illinois is another state. You have to have the FOID card. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So what would be your third point for?
Would be customization. I shoot USPSA, I shoot ICO revolver, I cowboy action shooting. You're shooting 1911s. If it's in 45, the power factor you need to make is 165. Now for those that don't know, power factor is bullet weight times velocity divided by 1,000. Well, if you buy a box of factory 45 ACP 230 grain ball, the cheapest stuff, it's moving a 230 grain bullet much faster than it needs to for you to meet the minimum standards for that course.
Right.
So you can reduce the recoil, you're burning less powder, you can reduce the cost, and by minor changes in bullet seating depth and stuff, you can improve accuracy. So you're customizing this ammunition for your specific purpose.
Yeah.
Cowboy action shooters have a power factor of 60 because they allow 32 calibers.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, you can load really, really light loads. You're not going to buy a 38 special with a lead 105 grain bullet.
Right. Well, and, you know, having...
Hang on, just a sec.
Okay. Having my own kids, I also feel like I like being able to tailor my loads just because when I send them out to shoot, say, my 45, they're able to shoot my 45, but with a little bit lighter load, so they can handle it, they can control it, and they enjoy the experience.
Exactly.
So that's also my addition to being able to customize. I'm not a competition shooter, but I do reload, not just for myself, but for my family.
Yeah.
So we can all continue in that sport together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the final one is improved accuracy. Factory ammunition, there's usually two groups of it anymore. There's the standard off the shelf, and it's designed to be safe in any firearm in that caliber. Then they sell a custom round, and it's usually priced 3 or 4 times higher than their lower end ammo because they're using a specialized bullet.
Yeah.
And they're taking more care when they assemble the round and getting a closer accuracy on their powder drop.
Yeah.
Well, you can do all that naturally while reloading because you're picking the bullet. If you're going big game hunting and you want a Nosler partition or you want a Barnes solid, you can put that together far cheaper than you can buy that custom ammo off
Yeah.
the shelf, if you can find that ammo on the shelf.
Right, exactly. Yeah. The accessibility, again, it brings us back to that. I mean,
Exactly.
if we want to be able to keep shooting,
Yep.
sometimes, we need that accessibility. So we have to create the accessibility for ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, all right. So, okay. One last question. Have you ever seen anything crazy while you're reloading, like other reloaders? What's the craziest thing you've seen happen?
While loading myself,
You, or maybe somebody else, maybe you've seen somebody not do something they should have done.
well, there's minor things that happen all the time, like not applying case lube to bottleneck rifle cases because they need to be lubed. And then you've got enough leverage to push the case up into the die, but now the friction is so much that you'll rip the rim off the case before you'll pull the case out of the shell plate.
And that's not good.
No, it's even with Dillon dies, because our rifle dies, we designed the depriming assembly to be a built-in stuck case remover.
Yeah.
It's still obnoxious to have to do.
Sure. Yeah.
But the other thing is that the strangest things in the world find their way into powder measures. Customer calls, powder bar's not going over. Okay, well, send us a picture. Okay, everything's mechanically fine, dump the powder out. Well, there's a bullet in here, or there's a locator pin in here, or there's a bolt in here.
Oh my gosh.
Or it's okay.
Yeah, that would probably stop it.
Yeah. And the craziest thing is probably, I had one customer who unfortunately, he filled up the hopper on his powder measure, failed to put the lid on the powder measure, turned around and decided, well, I'm going to do some more disc work on this 1932 Ford I'm working on. Burnt the garage down. So, yeah.
See where that's going.
Yeah, a little common sense goes a long, long way.
Right. Well, that's the one thing I always tell people. My husband and I reload together because we enjoy it. We take turns pulling the handle, gauging, and we just talk. But we always stay aware of our process because every single step matters.
Yep.
You have to pay attention. You can't just just drift outside your mind. You have to stay watchful.
It's like in the seminars yesterday, I tell people it's like splitting wood. You're focused on where's the crack in this piece of timber. I want to make sure I don't bounce it off a knot into my leg. And you're focused, but reloading is less energetic.
Right. Exactly. Well, Gary, this has been amazing. I am so glad that I could bring this side of you to people. Everybody is used to seeing you be a teacher, but it's kind of fun to get inside Gary's brain for just a little bit. So. I'm sure your coworkers would agree.
But they might say it's kind of a scary place sometimes. That's okay.
Well, they're all like hovering around outside. I said, just in case Gary goes rogue, we've got all of his coworkers over here to help me out if need be. So. No, I really appreciate it, Gary. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for sharing us with your audience.
No problem. No, we love Dillon. We love everybody at Dillon. They've become our family. In fact, they just handed me a book. My friend Steve, also that works here, handed me a Dillon book a little bit ago. I'm so excited. I'm going to have something to read this next week. So
awesome.
I've always wanted to read that book. So now I'll have to talk about that with my subscribers too.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm so excited. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Remember, once we get to that 5,000 subscriber mark, we're going to be giving away the Dillon RL550C reloading press. Da, 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 da. So make sure you pass that on to friends and family. We're really close. Cutoff's going to be happening very soon. So make sure you get it done. And I look forward to talking to you all again soon.